Alright, hello. This is going to be a commentary for my any percent 42-44 IGT time. For just the general any percent route, but I'll be using my run as a reference. I will be assuming that you know the general mechanics of Demon Souls, that you've done your first playthrough at least, and all that. And just go into a little bit more depth about what I do in a run and why. Maybe minus the skips. Like I might just link a video instead to show you how they do it, or send them to a video to where they explain the video or the skip a little more clearly. This is just an overview of the whole run and what to do and why, essentially. That's where you can just learn to skip on your own. But yeah, I did one of these before when I was learning melee route, just so people who maybe don't even know the game could understand what I'm doing. But this is more for... This is after I've learned the route in and out. This is actually my last PB in this game for a while, in route. I'm going to move on to something else for now. Probably come back later, but for now I just want to try different things, so. But just before I finish it off, just want to do this. And I will be having a paste spin type guide, which I'll probably submit to the leaderboard site to go along with this, so you can have that as well if you want more bulleted points, details. Even that is a little in-depth, but yeah, so just keep those two in mind if you need them, if you're starting out running. Because I would love to see more runners for Demon Souls. We need more. It's definitely the least run game in the series, so it'll be nice to have more. If this can help, then great. So yeah, start. Class we start with is Hunter. For the battle axe and the longbow, having both of those is really useful. And a couple of items are pretty neat too. To have. You skip the tutorial here in a second. There you go. You don't need a tutorial for the 90%. Then just go straight to 1-1. If you were to spam start here, there's a chance that you'll get a bug or a glitch, whatever you want to call it, where some of the mobs in the air won't spawn at all, which isn't a huge time save. It's only really slightly beneficial. You definitely don't need it for an efficient run or anything, but it's just a little thing that can happen. The way you know that happens is if the game starts, like, the frames are just really laggy and stuff. That's one way to know. But like I'll point out the enemies that disappear in a sec, because there'll be a couple. Yeah, so right here you're gonna pick up the fire bombs. The first thing you're gonna need to just focus on. 5, you're gonna need all of them for Phalanx in a couple minutes. This enemy in the back here, the one just swung there, he will disappear if you get that bug. Just extra. It's not that big a deal, really. We're not at a point where that's like a deal breaker for world records or anything. But it's nice sometimes. Oh, and since I'm getting beat up here, this is a very RNG heavy area. It's not lethal a lot of the times. It's just, you can be slowed down a lot by little things here and there. A lot of enemies around. You're gonna iframe this boulder by rolling. You just abuse iframes in a weird way. And lets you roll over it. Okay, you're gonna jump down here. If you're to miss and like fall on that wood plank down there, you can actually reload even if you actually land on it. You can just reload and you'll land on top of the stairs or somewhere on there. It's not bad. Oh yeah, and I do have the control on this side if you ever need to just look at how I do certain inputs. Although my controller seems to be like a little desynced from the gamepad viewer sometimes. Like I'll press triangle sometimes and the game won't register it. But it should be mostly good. Right here you can heal. That's a good time to heal and just re-equip your items. You put your longbow on your second slot of your left hand, and the next skill binding will replace the audits of guidance, since those are unnecessary for the run. And then here, this is one of the most dangerous parts of the area. If you get cornered here, you can definitely die. Especially if you just have the dragon come up to you. But you shouldn't. Even the dragon will be really late. So yeah, we're good here. Hit this lever. This is technically a shortcut, but I mean, yeah. After you get this lever to open the boss, and you pick up the serpentine, it's actually not too bad if you were to die. It's almost minimal time loss. So you can get cornered here a little bit, so it's possible you will die, but and here in a sec you could also die if a drop. Right here, well, I guess I show the rest. You jump here and then just roll down. So what happens here is that you need to just go on this little lip in the corner and just go parallel to the stairs and just fall down straight. And you should be good. You can even take a little time to align and everything. This is a good time to heal because after you pull this lever, as you wait for the doors to open, you're gonna put on your turpentine for the boss. Here, this is pretty much just, you can kind of just time how long you run and stuff. You're gonna chuck 4 bombs here after you run a little bit, facing straight up, pretty much as high as you can. That should hit the boss as she moves towards you. That's a lot of damage for the bombs. Do a bunch of R1s here, two-handed. After you deplete your stamina, throw another bomb to get rid of more phalanxes. Pick up items. You're gonna want a shard of heartstone for later, so keep getting them to get a drop of heartstone. It can also be sharp stones. You don't want that. And just keep going, repeat that until you get the stones. And if she dies, you can either grab the rest that are there if they're any, or you can just forget about it. You don't need to reset or anything. You can fix that later. Here you buy a dagger from the smith. Oh, that was a good time for the music. Oh. Anyway, you buy a dagger from the smith. You equip it here once your stamina depletes, or wherever. It doesn't really matter. You can actually do it in the next area too if you need to. Just keep running up. Gotta talk to the Monumental so he'll unlock the rest of the areas. Big old time waste as far as run's concerned. Right here can Nexio bind, or you could load profile. You could load profile to save your souls if you miss the heartstone, because you're gonna have to buy it. Either that or you can pop a Phalanx soul. So right here in Stonefang, you go there first or next. You will talk to the guy over here for a heartstone. Like I said, you can reload profile to save your souls, or you can pop the Phalanx soul and you got the souls you need. Just need 1. Pick up sticky white stuff here. Right there, usually just roll and toggle escape. Toggle escaping is just when you get hit, like if you toggle like instantly after you get hit, you'll like cancel the animation of the stagger. You can also do a falling, but it's a little bit different. Right here you shoot those pots to let the dogs out early. That way they don't just clog up the door. Do a bunch of running R1s here, running R1s to get these out of the way. And coming up here, we got the spider skip. I'm gonna do a very unique variation, or at least I think I do. Yeah, you go out of bounds here. I believe I do it the way I usually do. Yeah, okay, so I pull off the faster RTA time one, but you don't. It's probably faster to do the other way, the more traditional way. If you were to look up Armored Spider Skip, the way you see it there, that's all you need to do. You don't need this. It's more of an RTA strat. Just Spider Skip. Anything gets you past Armored Spider. So I will link that probably in the iCard and all that. Right here, do a dupe for the sticky white stuff. You need to dupe it to attack this enemy right here, but you only have 2, and you will need the 2, so you need to dupe it. You get large shard of heartstones and chunks of heartstones there to upgrade later. Right here, just be careful with these drops. These are deceptively tricky, these drops here, especially if you're going fast. You can take safer routes for sure if you really want to. But you can easily be bounced off by the the cliffside and just fall to your death. So just know your way around. That was actually pretty close. Oh yeah, you do heal while you kill the enemy. Also, the one with the heartstones too. Full moon grass there. You'll need that for healing now and just general for the run. There is also a stone of ephemeralize over here on the side if you want those for peaching for safety. Up to you. Right here I usually dupe it, even though I don't need to these days. It's just it loses almost no time to dupe them, so I usually do anyway. For Flamelurker, yeah, you need sticky white stuff on your dagger. That's what you did right there. He'll take a lot of practice. He's definitely one of the harder bosses of the run, especially melee. Magic is super easy, but what I usually try to go for is I try to bait out the swings, the hand swipes, and then I try to aim for his arms and legs, and if I can, just his butt, pretty much his behind. Those seem to stagger more regularly if you aim for those. You can roll through his explosions, both of them, the two-handed and one-handed ones. Well, the two-handed is a lot trickier. If you're to heal when he's at like 75 or less, I think he tends to do a jump, the little weak jump that doesn't do any damage when it hits you. That's something you could do to bait him as well. Just learn the boss. Just keep practicing it. That's one of those that just needs a lot of practice. On to Dragon God. Right here, try to run in a straight line until you pass these boulders right here. If you were to run over them, they kind of like make you fall a little bit, and that slows you down enough to mess up the cycle. So run straight, and once you get past these, hug left or hug right wall, get in this corner, and to get out of his line of sight even faster than usual. And if you do that correctly, you should be able to destroy these rebels and heal here. This heal is not only to heal your health, obviously. It also de-aggroes him. For some reason, healing against Dragon God makes his like tracking like reset or something, so he has to roar 2 times again or something, or once, and it helps a lot. So then once you do that, you can just kind of start running as soon as possible, or accelerate first and then run. Right, second one, and yeah, he should be punching right now. Hit the ballista, and that's one half of it done, or one half of the sides. Jump over that. You just kind of go a little bit out of bounds. Not too much. It's just kind of a tricky parkour thing. Here you hit these. And since I did do that part in the beginning right, this is fine. If you have issues and he roars like now or like while you're hitting these boulders, you might want to go back to the pillar right here. This one. This pillar right here, you might want to go back to this after hitting the boulders, or maybe before, and pop another heal to reset him again, and then do that, because otherwise he might actually spitfire at you. Like, this is just really fine. I could break these and continue. He's shooting fire behind me, I'm pretty sure. Second ballista. Pretty much fight is done. It's hard to mess up the next part. You go pick up the Master's Ring and equip it immediately, because you're gonna use it right away. Put it on the right slot, preferably, because you take that off a lot more. Here you try to use this little slope. I usually look at this little V right here to see where to do it. Hit it as soon as you're gonna fall off, and that should cancel the animation for your buff and just let you roll right away. You'll do this a little bit later as well. Right here, hit him 3 times. Another 3 times. Watch your stamina, see how much it takes to get 3 hits. Another 3 times. And then 1, and a miss. 1. Right there, you take off your helmet and armor, and because I dupe, I usually just take off my sticky white stuff there as well. Although if they're out, you don't need to. Touch this archstone and go back. And that's probably the large archstone you really get for for soul purposes. Pop that Dragon God soul that you just got for this extra souls for leveling and all that. You do the storage dupe here, and you're gonna dupe. Wow, I messed that up a lot. You're gonna dupe Shard of Heartstone, large Shard of Heartstone, and chunks of Heartstone. Yeah, I rushed my VP earlier, and I don't do a very good job here. So yeah, dupe those 3. And if you want to peach, do safety things, just dupe whatever else you want. Stone of Ephemeralize, heals, whatever. Battle X +9 is what's up next. +9, and then Longbow +8. Although I would recommend doing +9. It only costs a second, 2 seconds tops to do the extra upgrade. And it's a lot safer for something later on. And then here, talk to her, and you level endurance to 15 and strength to 34. 34, right? Yeah. Now 3-1. You do have to go get a key before you can proceed anywhere, really. You would normally go right to the right, immediately to the right after the Archstone, but it's blocked, or it's locked, so you gotta pick up the cure quick. Little small deviation. Kill this guard here, he's in the way. Gotta wait for his animation to stop body blocking you. This key, there you go, this 3F key, present key. You Nexia bind here because it's just faster to go from the Nexus to here. Or to there. Back, instead of running back. In-game time anyway. Or actually no, I think both in-game time and RTA. Oh, that's another thing I should explain. I am running this on a digital copy of Demon Souls and an SSD. Instead of a hard drive on my PS3. Right here you do a reload. Not because of the door animation. That's one reason why a lot of people do it in the Souls game usually, to cut off doors taking up IGT. That's actually while you do this. If you don't do this while you're doing the Latria skip, you're going to be shot at by a Mind Flare. So it's not for IGT reasons, believe it or not, for once in the Souls series. But yeah, so SSD digital. And I also did a preload run, which means that I played the whole game through once, the whole run through once, to load up all the errors and stuff. Let's just skip. It's actually fairly self-explanatory, just a little bit of tricky parkour. There you go. That went out well. So yeah, preload run. You don't need to do them until you start optimizing really hard. Really, it mostly cuts off black screens before cutscenes, like this one right here. That one's minimized a lot by preload. Arrow trap skip. A lot of people know about this because it's just iframing. However, the tricky part is right there. You're going for this item, right? No, yeah. You're gonna try to get to that item while you're doing the skip. Which is a Clever Rat ring. Yeah, Clever Rat ring, which is essential for the run. Not only that, but you also have to set up your health as you do this. Or you don't have to, but you know, optimal. And the way to do that is I usually stand like a little bit to the left of the item. And what happens here is that you get hit by 2 arrows. There's one, or this one and this one, I think. Yeah. Those 2 should hit you. Okay, maybe not those 2, but yeah, you get hit by 2 arrows. That's the idea. You can get hit by 3 if you go a little bit too much to the left there. So you don't want to be too much. So say if you stand like with your left leg to like here, that might kill you because you get hit by 3 arrows instead of 2. Yeah, that's not good. So 2, maybe one, maybe a little bit, or like if you go a little bit to the right here, you might get only hit by one. That will be, I guess, half of this. So it gives you right here, something like that. That means you're gonna have to set up later. But yeah, so get hit by 2 arrows. Pick up that the ring as well. Usually, if I don't get hit by 2, I get hit by like this one right here that just passed by. Just it'll take practice though, or experience. So getting the skip all together with picking up the item and setting up health, it'll all take practice. Yeah, and then equip the Cleverette and go up to the guy you need to kill for revivals. Yeah, so preload, not necessary until you're really optimizing. But if you are just running a day and you're going for a lot of runs, if you just finish the first one you do, that's a preload run and a PB attempt. So I would definitely recommend maybe finishing your first run, or a early run that goes decently, you know, at least, or if it gets far. Right here, you don't actually go to him, you just shoot him with your arrows. Silico turns down his camera speed, which is really smart here, to let him align better, because it's definitely harder to aim with control and stuff. Unless the sensitivity is way down. And then just go back. You drop here, watch your health here. If it's too low, you might die. That should be perfectly fine here. Yeah. But if not, you can, like if you're too high, you can have her set up your range. Your Clever Rat ring range. Oh, just in case you don't know, the Clever Rat, what it does, it increases your damage if you're at like 30% HP or less, I think. So that's why it's really important. Right here, just R1, R1, R2, R2, done. Bye. Goodbye. Unequip the rest of the armor for a little bit later. And yeah. Good stuff. Right here, stamina management is kind of important if you want to hit the first elevator without having to do a reload that we're going to do real quick in a sec. I don't do it because it's not that big a deal to reload. But if you were to manage stamina very well here in this segment, you wouldn't need to do a reload. But yeah, so here, just straight lines as much as possible, stamina management. Keep an eye on that. I guess I can explain that. Basically, you want to run until the stamina just depletes, but not too much, because then you won't be able to run right away. And then you get your stamina. You start running when you're about right here, I think, is what I calculate usually. And then you're at full stamina by the time you start running again, because it takes a lot of effort to register. So yeah, reload here if you don't want to be stressed by having to catch the first elevator to the first tower. I do a random roll here, which I thought I'd mess up my cycle with the elevator, but I didn't actually somehow. But I just keep going. Stamina management. You can compare when I start running in here with my cam or my gamepad, which might not be exact because I do have delay on my capture card, but should be close enough. Here I do it for real quick for the fog gate. The fog gate is an easy way to recover stamina, so hitting fog gate at 0 stamina is pretty good. Wait, I'm pretty sure I do make this right here. Yeah, just barely. If you're too low on HP, like 30 or something, 40, you might want to heal. Green Crescent Moongrass heals you 120 HP. And Clever Rat Ring range is 184 if you don't level Vitality. So if you are too low, heal here. As long as you're under 64 HP, you should be okay to heal without ruining Clever Rat. Although even then, like, you might just set it up here. So yeah, you kill the 4 guys. You trigger this elevator to go down, but you actually get on top of it because you don't have to wait for the animation of the door opening. You see how slow it is, and just write it down for a bit. This is a good time to do item management as well. You could heals here as well. I just like to do it in the other elevator just cause. And then when you're safe to drop down, just whoop. You can potentially fall here to the little swamp area. Just know you're around. Actually, let me just show you where you go. If you were to fall, like say anywhere on here, there is like a let me see. There's a little hole here you can run by if you're to fall over here. And there is like another stairway right here. So you can just, if you fall down there, you can just go down here and then just up here on the side, and yeah. Not too bad if you do, but yeah, it's just good to know because you can get lost here very easily for sure. So yeah, more stamina management. This is the longest area, I think. The longest single area, or one of them. So dying here would be a disaster, that's for sure. Before you get the second set of 4 enemies, so. Definitely try not to die here. If you need to, just be full HP the whole run. It's not the hardest area. Like, I'm pretty comfortable running here at a Clever Rat range. But there is a couple things that can get you, so. Until you're comfortable enough, maybe just full heal for this area. Watch out for this guy. Usually he does the Soul Ray and then this. It's pretty consistent. Just learn your tells for that Mind Flare enemy. Right here, you're gonna quit out once again. You don't have to either, I don't think, if you do things right, but I just like to do it for safety. This enemy right here, he sucks. He can do like that really fast insta jump that you barely have any time to react to. You can't react to it. I have done it before and roll it, but always expect that guy to roll or to jump. So just be ready to roll for this him. He usually do it right away. If he doesn't do it right away, he might be okay. You might not have to worry about him, but yeah, so just see that first and then do a reload if you want to. This is for the second elevator as well. And then yeah, just go to the elevator. And you should have plenty of time to make it too. You don't even have to worry about stamina too much. Right here, re-equip your armor. The reason we took off the armor in Dragon God is for the Clever Rat range for Fool's Idol. And I think here is just to be safe that you don't die when you're dropping down like the area from the elevator. Also, hug. You might have seen how I was running into the wall. Do that. Hug this corner of the elevator. This one back here. The reason being is that this gargoyle on top of the elevator, he if you do this, like 9 times out of 10 he'll just fall for some reason, and he actually can like very rapidly attack you with his little thrust if you don't do that. So maybe be sure to roll to there too, or be ready to roll there as well. But if you do that, like most of the time he will just fall and not be a problem. And it'll suck to die there because this is like the last thing you can do before you're safe to die in the area, technically. Yeah, now it'd be okay to die because you got the path to the boss open. Or relatively speaking. I'm assuming you're starting out running, or, you know, just don't know every little detail of the runs. You can probably afford a death, or hope you can, if you do die. Or at least a death after the shortcuts, not before, because that would suck. Yeah, so that's a little tidbit. That's one of the things. That's one of the reasons why I want to do this. Like, there's a lot of little things that you can learn a lot, especially this route. It's not very complicated actually. Like it's not very technical, the any % route. But there's a lot of little things about, especially Demon Souls, that you're like, you wouldn't know to look out for. Or you wouldn't know that's a thing because it's more like AI versus mechanics. Like, that's basically, like, the gargoyle thing is an AI thing more so than anything. That's not very clear, so that's one of the big reasons to do videos like this, just explaining little things that aren't obvious just from watching. If you were to have full health, what you would want to do, well, do top off if you don't have full health, if it's just a little bit low, but just for reasons. If you need a sub Clever Rat, after you roll that like paralysis attack, let him do the explosion attack and do a running, or just run but like near him, and let the explosion hit you. That should set you up perfectly for Clever Rat range. So a counter hit attack from the explosion, basically. It'll put you at 183 HP, which is just one short of a Clever Rat upper limit. And that would actually let you survive some attacks from Maneaters, so if you're like wanting to speed up Maneaters but don't want to die, like his little punches, I think both his one fist and double fist, you can survive with that. I think even like his dive, so that's really useful. Right here, buff with fire, Turpentine. Just learn this fight. This is another one that I can't help you with much. You're gonna have to just kind of practice it, experience it, see how things can go. Pray that they don't fly off, or the first one at least. The second one might be better to fly off, or might be okay. Missed that. If you cut the tail off, you can get a couple extra hits. Just be sure that it does cut it off, because I have had situations where I think I cut it because I hit it in the tail, but I miss or something, and he just dives at me or hits me, and I die. So yeah, the second one flying off isn't too bad, because you can actually just run up here and wait for him here, and that's, you know, faster to get to the fog gate after that. If he does fly off. So it's actually not that bad. Here, if you have like still your 3 or 4 full moon grass, you don't really need to pick these up. These are just more full moon grass. Unless if you just want them for safety, like if you're still learning the route. But at one point you may not even need these anymore. You only really need like 4 or 3 for the rest of the run. So yeah, that's just a tidbit. Otherwise, you probably should get them just for safety. Old Monk now, just run up this. You should be able to R1 all these guys, even after the fire buff's out. Just keep going. You don't have to do this, but what I do is buff here for fire for Old Monk. But it's not necessary for sure. I do it so the death animation for Old Monk is faster. But it's not necessary. You can also backstab him on the last hit. So I'll explain a little bit further when I get in there. Oh, and for the mind flayers, one thing I found that works is just trying to bait their soul or their process, and just kind of hit them from the side with a running attack to get them out of the way a little bit. With Clever at ring range, you should be able to just push him. So yeah. So this guy just two-handed R1s to stagger him. Try to space out well, because he can attack really fast. Old Monk is surprisingly deadly at low HP because his jabs are really quick with his fist weapon. So just R1s with spacing. Right here, that death animation was really fast because of my fire buff. Like the burn animation kind of makes him go faster. If I didn't have that, it would just be very slow. It's like he gets on his knees and suffers a little bit. So the other way to circumvent that is by backstabbing him. So if you don't have the fire buff or don't want to do it, because it's probably slower anyway. Just for that last hit, like right here, instead of doing another R1, just get behind him and backstab him. Or actually, you could probably wait. Hold on. Not too far. I think actually, yeah, actually, I think you're actually able to backstab him here to kill him for the rest of the HP. Just after the first 4 set of swings, you can just get behind him and backstab him to death. So yeah, that's definitely faster, I think. This is just safe, I guess. Although it is a little risky because he can just like decide to punch you after he ends his stagger. Like right there, he's pretty much all already like on you. But if you get lucky, you can just backstab him. You know what? What I'd recommend is if you have a decent amount of HP. So like this is probably fine. Maybe a little bit, like half of this would be dangerous. If you have this amount of HP, maybe do just go for the backstab strat and don't fire buff. If you don't, you have a lower, maybe try the Turpentine instead to be safer. Because I think you can survive one jab at like higher HP, but if you don't have enough, then you might just get screwed over by his really quick jabs. So yeah, your choice, fire buff or backstab to kill him faster, and then just next to bind. Kind of easy boss, but also a little bit. He can turn around really quick. 5-1. if you would like, if you just don't care because it's right there, these are Royal Lotus. You can pick this up if you want. Oh, you decide after, or like once I explain when you need them, where. You can pick this up right there. It's easy pickup, not that far out of the way. So right here, just go down right there. And right here, you'll do a slope quit out, which I think I'll explain because it's not too hard to explain, but there's not a lot of videos out there on it. I think I actually have like one of the only, as far as I know, like just on YouTube. I guess I'll show it first and then explain. So yeah, what happens is that you kind of use the slope there to like slow your death, your actual death in game. Like your HP won't deplete yet, so you use those slopes to kind of halt the death a little bit, and then you reload. What happens is that you don't die, but you do keep that position once you reload here, so you end up down there but survived. My reference for doing this, oops, no tooth, is I kind of just have the right leg close to this. Not exact, but pretty close. You don't have to do quick game. The only reason I do it is to see where I'm landing, but you can honestly just low profile for and use audio cues to kind of know when to quit out. I would show it, but I think I have music playing, so I don't want to show that right now. Yeah, so I just do that to know where I'm gonna quit out. So basically, a little bit after, you have a lot of time here. You have more pretty forgiving windows, so just quit out after a little bit once you hit that ground, and yeah, that's how I do mine. The quit game I just kind of do just for safety. It'll be more useful a little bit later. But you can load profiles off. Knock this down. Go to the fog gate. I pull out my bow here because I'll need it soon. And just, I don't know, it's better to have already. Kill this guy up here. Running attack usually one-shots him. I push these guys out of the way with my body, just rolling into them. Shoot these guys. You can either lock onto them or just aim manually. I just do it for comfiness, just lock on. Usually it's okay. I do also, once I kill him, I do run a little bit here because his body does block you for a little bit. I probably don't need to do it that much. That's what I do. Just roll back here. Enter fog. We're gonna do that thing we did for Dragon God with the sticky white stuff. We're gonna use a little slope to just buff and cancel our animation. Let's see if I can get a good angle. I go basically here, I think. Yeah, like right next to the plank right here. That's good enough. You just pop it and then just cancel animation. Attack. This is an easy boss as long as it's topped off. I would recommend not fighting it, or I would recommend healing if you're below like 3/4 of your health, because the leeches and like he does sometimes do attacks that hurt a lot. Those two combined can be really bad. So just I don't know. Unless you're gonna be ballsy and clever at range the boss, which could be like a feature strat of when people are trying to optimize or something. Just top off, in my opinion. Here is another slope quit out, which is much harder. I honestly, even until now, I think I only now know how to do it consistently. I used to use these two these two like thingies, like that straight line connecting those two. I used to use as a reference, have my left leg like kind of tied to that, but even that wasn't quite consistent enough. So what I do is I use this two as a rough reference, and then I turn slightly to the left, like just a little bit of an angle, like 20 degrees or something, and then run off, because it's the where you land if you do that is a little better. So let's just see it first, and then here's where quick game is really useful. That way you can see where you're landing. So yeah, you land those planks. That's really like very tight window. You also need to quit out faster as opposed to the other one. So yeah, that's how I do mine. But whatever works for you. I've seen a few people do it, and I don't know. I would definitely recommend using Quit Game, since it comes on in-game time anyway. And then here, look for these items, these two right here. That's where you need to like go for, since if you don't know Swamp by memory, just look for those two. Oh, and this toggling thing I'm doing is for this. If you can see right there, my stamina is slowly regenerating on its own while I'm running in the swamp like that. So that's why you do that. So when you're running, do that, and it's just a little bit of help. Pray to all your gods that that lady doesn't see you. Get the cat ring right there. For her, all I can really recommend is if she gets close to you, maybe try to like go around her, and like if you see that she's gonna try to swing or something, or feel like she's gonna try to swing, maybe do a running attack away from her, because you can't roll in the swamp. So the only way to accelerate really is to do like an R1 as you're running, even though you're not technically running. It's kind of a walk. Like as long as you're holding circle and do a running attack with one-handed running attack, by the way, that'll give you a small acceleration. It won't always save you if she swings with a certain like move. Like I think R2 might still get you. That actually helps really well with like a two-handed R1 that she does. So I don't know. Maybe try quitting out too. That's another thing. Practice stats, like just figure out what works for you. She's not too much of a problem for me, but she can be. Black Turpentine right there. And then right here, right that I make sure that she's not following me. Right there, this item is a Royal Lotus. I turned back right there because if she's too close, she will definitely like attack you while you're getting this. So that's why I said earlier, like you can get another one. So this one is a little bit risky if she's behind you. If not, then just get it. If you haven't gotten the other one anyway, you only need one. So right here, Fog. Roll. Get another roll if you can. It's usually do. Not always though. It's just, you know, swamp AI, or is it even called AI? I don't know. Swamp physics are really weird because sometimes even if you're already in the swamp, like the game doesn't detect that you are, so it lets you roll once, even twice in some cases, but I don't know. You kind of get a feel for what lets you do it usually or not. Thief Ring, you'll need it soon. Keep going. Let's get onto this plank, or this land. Watch your health here. You're gonna pop that Royal Lotus very soon. As soon as you hit Clever Rat Ring range. Watch out for mosquitoes. Don't stop here. At least not there. Like a little bit further. Like here's fine. Yeah, here. Pop a Royal Lotus if you have one. Watch out for these leeches. They can actually kill you. I've had that once. It was unfortunate. This item right here is another set of Royal Lotus. If you like skip the very first one in 5-1, but also she was really close to you whenever you're getting the other ones, this is the last chance. Probably not, there's probably more, but that's the last reasonable chance. Just be in Clever Rat range if you want to risk the fight, I guess. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. That's a backup. That's all you gotta know for now. And then right after you get it, do pop them right away. Those enemies won't follow you yet. Thief Ring here for this little village because it's omega dangerous as is. So without Thief Ring, even worse. The worst part about these enemies is that they can do like a little tantrum attack where or not tantrum. It's like they like dash at you and do 2 hits at once. If they clip you from the side, that will kill you at the Clever Rat Ring range health. If you get them from the front, they can break your guard, but you will actually survive the second hit, thankfully. So that's why I kind of like, let's see. See right there, I kind of like run towards him, and that's just in the hope, or like if he does do that like wild swinging arm attack, that hits twice. My hope is that if he does do it, then he'll break my shield first and then hit me instead of getting from the side. And I feel like they won't do it as often if you're that close to them anyway. So like once he's already turned, it's like, I think that guy behind me just did it too. The one that I just ran by. This one. I think he just did it. I don't know. It's hard to say. Yeah, that's why I kind of run towards him, but sometimes even with that, it'll kill you. Right here, I run attack this guy just in case. Yeah, I think he can do that attack too, but once you're doing the running attack, it's fine. Watch out for that guy that poisons you. Maybe try to heal the poison. Master ring here. I think I forget for a sec. Black Terpentine right there in the corner. That's where I do it. Try not to break this arm of his, because if you do, I guess the idea is that he's holding a bunch of mosquitoes in that, and like if it breaks, the mosquitoes can just go on their own. They have their own free will. If you do break that like really early on, they can just, you'll randomly get attacked by a bunch of mosquitoes out of nowhere, and that can just be lethal in certain situations. So as long as you don't break that, you don't got that RNG factor. So yeah, don't forget that. That's lost many a run to people who don't know that. So yeah, stick to his right, your left. Kind of swing at him. Be careful with your stamina. He can... I very often like do 4 hits and don't have enough stamina to roll or something. It's unfortunate every time. Because this is another one of those long levels, so just keep that in mind. Maybe only do 3 hits until you're trying to optimize. So here, watch your health a little bit while you're dropping. If you have too low, maybe don't drop that carelessly. Otherwise, yeah, just do it. Gar Vinland. Go forth, Gar Vinland. What you do here is just kind of wait for him to swing once, get behind him, backstab, PvP, and then once he's out of iframes here, just start swinging, and he's done. Even clever at. Full heal here, and then just run a little bit. Ah, fuck. Yeah, right, I messed it up. So you can run a little bit into the swamp and do a running attack that gives you that acceleration, but I guess I just messed it up, or I just got unlucky here and it didn't do it. But it can be really fast. And then next you bind. Once that message pops up, 2 things. He will sometimes clip you with his mace. Like here, if you roll like a little bit too late or too early or something, I don't know. He can clip you, and it won't kill you if you don't have really low HP. But if you're at like 30 or something, maybe consider healing before the fog gate, just to make sure he doesn't like kill you with a splash attack. Like, cause that'll be very unfortunate. If he kills you with it hits you with a whole mace, you will die for sure, no matter what. Yeah, he does have a little bit of splash here, so I don't know. If you want to be safe, just heal. I haven't gotten hit by that splash in a while, so I was fine. Second thing, fair warning for all Archdemon bosses, which includes Old Monk, Astraea, and Storm King. Oh, and even False King Allant. Maybe don't Nexio bind too early. Like say here, like if I Nexio bind and only this shows, or maybe even a little bit more like this, you can potentially be soft locked, which sucks a lot. It's killed many runs of people, and it's the worst feeling ever. So maybe make sure you can at least see like this bottom text or something before you Nexio bind, like, or try to get used to that. Cause yeah, you won't even know your soft lock until like the very end of the run. So just a warning. So Old Monk, Storm King, Maiden Astraea, and False King Allant, those 4 can potentially soft lock you. And like, we're actually not sure, but like the Speed Souls guys, like we've kind of been debating it, and like it seems that doing that, like it's pretty clear that like basically the Archdemon is about to screw you over, because those are what lock you out of the progression at the end of the game, right? So If you to just next skill bind too early, the boss will actually be dead, so you can't even go back to kill him either. Like, you can't finish a run. You're just soft lock, period. As far as we know, there's nothing you can do. So, just be careful. Heed my warning is all I'm saying. 4-1. This is a little bit of a crappy area. Also, the song is late. Here, if the skeletons are troublesome, maybe kill them. Like, that's what I did for a long time. But if not, just follow this pathing. There is a skip you can do, which I haven't done yet. Maybe when I return, I'll practice it more and try to apply it. But which involves this hill right here. It's called hill skip, I think. You can just kind of roll into this hill with some really interesting platforming type things. I don't even think I've done it once. I think I've done it once with the skeletons around me. I've done it a couple times with no enemies, just there, but never in runs. I've never gone that gold. Right there, I get a little bit dangerously close to dying, so I'm just like, you know what? Reload. Quit game. You could do that if you feel like you're in a tight spot. If you can, I would hold off until you get to the fog gate, because I wouldn't even save them or lose that much time. But here I was like, you know what? I'm getting overwhelmed. I'm just gonna do it now. And that was a good call. And I just watch out for them, and yeah, they don't, as long as they don't fall in the tunnel, which they can. Yeah. Go up. Do this little parkour. This regen ring is very optional. Not a lot of people get it because for me even, it only has one use. But I find it important enough to take it, so I'll explain that later. But yeah, so here, if you don't have clever rat in range already from a skellies or whatever, this pressure plate will set off arrow traps. If you're topped off, take 2 arrows, but do make sure to be toggle escaping. That way you don't just get stunned to the third one as well. And that should set you up pretty well. If you have less than that, then maybe try blocking a few hits or something with your axe or shield. Whatever might work for you. You'll get a few for that. Here, 2 swings with your one-handed R1 battle axe. 1, 2, 3. 2 R1s, 1 R2. Switch to cat ring. Oh, I would also recommend getting that Archstone if you're not too familiar with the game yet. Just in case, for reasons. Switch this lever. Hit this lever. Hit this switch. Go to the illusory wall where you farm that pure blade stone that everyone loves. That I totally didn't get in 12 minutes in my all trophies run. You pass this guy, and then here you do the old hero skip, which is kind of self-explanatory. Just kind of reload there. You gotta bounce a little bit. It's basically a slope quit, but with the cat ring. The cat ring kind of does the same thing that slope do. So that's why you get the ring before you get to this level. And I just kind of follow this path right here. At least this is the path I take. There's a couple ways. If you happen to get stuck in any of the rocks, just reload and you should be okay. I don't think I've ever been permanently stuck on the rocks. Yeah, get decently close to these guys, but not too close to get overwhelmed. That'll be up to experience. You'll get a feel for what's too close, what's too far. Kill 6 of them. 3, 4, then 2 more. Don't feel shame in counting. I've been counting. I still count. I don't trust my inner counting, so I just count out loud. And 6. And then just switch to thief ring so they don't follow you. Yeah, so kill 6 of those. If you take too long to kill 6 of them, maybe wait a little bit longer so you don't get caught with your pants down, kind of. Like, if you were a little bit late, he would have been like, the Storm King would have already been like right over here. And you would just be late to your cycle. So just wait a little bit longer so he can like skip the cycle basically and go to the next one. And then you can set up, just for safety. Maybe even kill another few mana rays, because they can shoot you. Just keep your ear out. Hear the mana rays. Yeah, so stand where I'm standing or around there. I usually just take aim kind of like that. I mastered this, and at one point I started messing it up, so I had to relearn it. Lock on, and just kind of switch the body if you can. And then that should be 8 shots. +8 should be enough to kill it if you did it right. But it's a little bit tight with +8, so until you're optimizing really hard, maybe just do +9 bow, I would say. It even helps with the small mana rays, so. Just your call, just learn, practice. If you feel like you're doing decently with that, you're consistent in that split, and feel free to downgrade to +8, because it doesn't lose any time as far as like the actual boss. Right here you do a thing called transition warp, which is fairly new discovery. What I do is as soon as I cross that, like, that tunnel's like little, this right here, like the arch, like basically once I cross the first arch, like I do a reload when I'm like maybe halfway to that like second like little breakout line. This transition warp, that's gonna make you skip the tunnel. You can do this in a few other places, but they're not worth it in their context, so there's only one you really do. If you don't want to do that, I'll explain the difference in a second, but for now, just keep running. You need to unequip the Thief Ring. You can do it before this too, I just usually wait until I'm here. But yeah, just run stamina management. You should make this as long as you're doing good stamina management. And don't bump into shit like that. And then after these barrels, you can start quitting out and reload. So what happens here is that you actually like just reset the cycle of the dragon, really. Because you quit out early, it kind of messes up a little bit. If you don't actually quit out for the transition warp, you don't have to do this quit out either. The cycle is pretty well determined. It's pretty well set up, so you can just keep running. So you don't gotta load at all. So yeah, this is why you don't need Thief Ring here, or we prefer no Thief Ring. These enemies can actually like be more annoying if you don't have Thief Ring, or you do have Thief Ring, because they'll aggro later and they'll just block you. So yeah, as soon as you hit this fog, you equip Thief Ring. I would recommend waiting a little bit before hitting the fog, because if you go too fast, you can actually have the dragon roast you in the next part. So just wait a tad, not that long, but like maybe just after they're done roaring from the previous segment, and then go. I would maybe show with the volume, but again, I'm playing music in this stream, so. Right here, do a Plague Turpentine buff on your dagger, not your battle axe. I usually do it there so those enemies can stagger me out of it. You can also toggle that. I don't remember. I don't think I did there. And then 3 R1s to the legs, both of them. Each one, 3, 6 total. Switch to battle axe. 3 hits. Watch out for that last one. Sometimes it doesn't hit trigger like the mastering or something. I'm not even sure what happens, but sometimes it doesn't fully kill it. Touches Archstone to get this fog out of the way. If you don't touch it, it just stays there until you do. It's kind of annoying. Heal if you want to. I keep it just because it's not too necessary for me. Like I know I've done this for a while. I ran this for over a year. Maybe not this route, but this game. So right here you gotta reload to get these enemies out of the way. If you're to do magic route, you could do this easier. You could just do a soul ray, but in melee they're kind of annoying and just take time. So just reload, and they spawn behind you because that's why they spawn like after the blocks are broken and the area is reloaded. Right here you do a little bit of a tricky, not even tricky, it's pretty easy, just parkour. Can you even see that actually? I don't think you saw that. Yeah, there's like a little lip here you can just land on and just roll to the side. Be careful not to fall up top of there, because I think there's like no ground in some place there. Actually landed there once and it was funny, but doing runs, maybe don't do that. Or don't explore there. Get these guys out of the way. Oh yeah, you do more rolling of boulders and stuff. There are some ninja guys in those sides too, they can be annoying, so you hope that those boulders get them out of the way. run past this guys. Oh god, that roll, spooky. Why did you do this? That's the second time we did this in the run. Roll this last boulder. Should be good. If you have full HP, what I would recommend is taking off your top, like that, top 2 armor pieces and trying to get 2 counter hits from these crossbow guys. I was hoping only 1 would be enough, but apparently it was just short. Thankfully that was fast. Yeah, that should be enough, I think, to set you up. If not, just wait a little bit. I don't think you need to set it up because of the way I do this anyway. So right now, this is one of the most dangerous areas of the game, and a lot of people struggle with it. I actually found a very consistent way to get by it, thankfully. And I still do it to this day. I won't stop doing it until I'm just hella grinding for whatever. What I do is I slow down here, get a little bit of stamina back. I block and just wait until these two do their thing. If they both thrust, awesome. I'm pretty much safely able to continue because they kind of stagger for long enough, and I can just continue. The third one won't be a problem unless you take too long. If one of them does like a shield bash, it's okay to keep going. You don't have to wait for them to do anything. But yeah, you should be able to block 2 of those and then just roll like twice or something. But yeah, slow down. Try to block the spears. Like if you see them trying to do it, like just wait a little bit and then go. Because yeah, if not, it's really hard. It's very RNG heavy. Quick master ring right there at the fog. Bait this attack. That's the best attack you can do, I'm pretty sure. Roll past it and then just offload your R1s. All 4 of them. That attack is also punishable, but I'm not as comfortable, so I just kind of wait it out and then just... And then apply Thief's Ring right away, or apply Quick Thief's Ring right away. And as you can see, that's a gold for me. But I think it was only like a fraction of a second. Roll through these things. That archer lady on the side, if you know about her, she can, on very rare occasions, shoot you while you're running like around here. So you can probably see that I'm kind of hugging the right wall. What I'm hoping happens is that this thing blocks the arrow if it happens to go towards me. She usually hit like this right here, but she didn't this time, so I think I just hugged the right a little bit. And then I just quickly shift to this other one to have that block, and we're good. It's very rare. I only had it happen like twice, but I'm too paranoid for that shit, so I just take precautions. Right here, I just kind of run here in the corner. It works out fairly well. I used to just like do a running attack, but this guy is awful. So what I usually do is I try to regain stamina before I get to like in front of him, and then hug the right wall to kind of lure him to that wall, and then I just shift, like go diagonally to his left, or to my left, to his right, and do a running attack to kind of push him a little bit more to the right and then get by him, because yeah, that's really hard to get by him. He can just kill you. So yeah, wait for that first flame, just stall a little bit, start running to accelerate. Here I would highly suggest you wait a little bit, you stall, because if you start running, if you just keep going, the dragon will definitely roast you like while you're going ahead. Unfortunately, this guy did fire toss too, which is dangerous. It's the most dangerous thing to do, so I had to like avoid that as well. But I mean, I already stall anyway, so I did have to start running a little bit. So just stall a little bit and then you're good. Here, what I do, you'll even see me do a twirl here. Yeah. What I do is I try to get full stamina before I cross this. Once I get here, I start running, and then I let go of run for a second, a fraction of a second right here, and then start running again, just as I turn. That should be plenty to let you just get past the dragon, because that's another little hard bit, like trying to get a feel for what works. You don't even have to like stop running in that little corner. I just think it's the best to do that because that's where you're turning and like want more control of your character anyway. Ostrava here, do a running R1 to him just to make him not do anything stupid. He can potentially block it, just react to that if so. Just be aware if he does. I think if he usually blocks, I just like kind of like bait him to attack but run back or something. But usually a one running attack should do it. Here I usually re-equip my armor if I don't have it all, but I forget. Take up everything except my turpentine and exobind, and I put on the white, what's it called again? The white white ice stone, which is a near strat. And this is the one purpose I have for the regen ring. I always strat regen to be at 184 or close, 181 or something, whatever it might be. You do regen at 4 ticks, 4 per second or so. So if you see that you're at 181, stop healing because it's gonna send you to 185, 182, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's the only reason I get the regen ring, but it's worth it because if you have full armor, well, even this much armor actually saved me, and full HP that gets you still to Clever Rat, you can survive Allant's like little magic swipes, which is not usually as big as problems, but it can save you in a pinch, you know. So yeah, that's what I use the Clever Writing for. Just re-equip Master Ring once I get it. The reason I got the white ice stone is because I think Silico found out recently-ish that you can kind of manipulate him with items like that. You'll do like a jump attack. I had him kill me. I was grinding this PB for like 3 months. Maybe even 4 almost, I think. I wasn't in PB for like 4 months. And I learned that strat and I was like kind of using that, but like I realized that I was not using it like I wasn't experienced enough with it to use it as much as enough to be able to use it safely during a fight. So I actually stopped using it too much and actually paid off for once. So for me at least, I wouldn't recommend doing it unless you have a lot of practice with it. So you can get lucky and maybe get them really fast Allant otherwise with that white ice stone, but I figure it should be safe because I actually have like almost a minute to save here. So yeah, I only equipped it for like maybe a few circumstances, but yeah. You go here, so when he charges at you, you can kind of corner him a little bit. Here, if he corners well like that, you can get 4 hits safely. I've yet to have that fail as long as he stays in his corner like that. Yeah, the white ice stone right there makes him do the jump attack. I'm actually surprised I did that right there, but at least he was far away enough. Okay, so I only do it if he's far away enough because you can't bait him to do the charge attack. If you're close, he can do the jump attack, but he can also do other things, and you will die. So. Oh, yeah, I would highly recommend only punishing that dash, the jump if he does it, and that explosion. I fucked up here because I tried to bait him, but he was already doing something. So I just went off here and just used the thing. A buff. See, that saved me. The HP saved me there. Even though it wasn't the wave only. And then next you bind. So Allant is the worst. He is like the one boss. He just, no matter how good you get, he can just screw you over instantly. He has like an insta charge attack. Here I panicked because I thought I soft locked. Like this is what you find out you soft locked. Like the end of the run. So talk to her, then just go. But yeah, Allant is just awful because you cannot humanly react to some of this stuff he does. It's too fast. He's very buggy. He's like Ornstein. Have you seen him like with his dash? And it sucks because he's such a good boss. He's such a cool boss, but then he has that kind of crap. It's like, ugh. Yeah, here I usually, if I have 4 armor, I just take it off here at the Fall Gate all entirely. What I do is 4 R1s here, 2-handed, buff right in his face so he can hit me, but he doesn't because he hits me. Then I try to get a counter hit here so I can make up for it, but it doesn't really matter. So just R1s until you do that, then to get Clever Rat. But so yeah, I lose a little bit of time here. Then I do that. Switch a dagger, have next to binding ready. Roll R1, split. End of the run. That's it. For the in-game time. Here it doesn't matter how long you take to quit out because of how we check the thing, but yeah, you do want to quit out here to the quit game. I think I was just double checking that I did probably PB, which yeah. So yeah, that's Demon Souls. I'll keep one a little bit lower just for submission purposes. Well, let me show you the meme first. The meme! My PS3 needed an update, yay! So I actually had to go and like have the PS3 update. Thankfully, the verifier still lets you update it even though it closes the game, and usually that'll be invalid kind of thing if you close the game or some shit. Which had happened to me once, I think, but yeah. So if you don't know, just to put it out there, to be able to do runs and submit them to the leaderboard, you have to do the run offline. You can't just like have the run online the whole time, right? So just be sure to be offline. You do have to set up the private server since the servers are down now. With your like DNS or whatever it is. So you just look up on YouTube like private servers, Demon Souls. I can probably link it too. So yeah, you set up the private servers, but you also have to set up your PS3 to where like you are offline until you tell it to log on. And you can do that by having like a new account made, having its own unique PSN account connected to it. That's what I do. I have a dummy account. It will show your email too, so if you don't want to get doxxed, have a dummy email that you don't use, just make it for Demon Souls and never log on to it. And then every time you log on to Demon Souls, once you boot up, it's like, do you want to log in? And you say no. That way you can do runs, not be offline, but you have the option to go online without closing the game, basically. I believe that's roughly what you have to do. Like, it's been a while since I've done it, so I can't tell you for sure, but something like that. Anyway, so that's how you do it. Let me just skip this. Since it's just updating. Yeah, boot up the game again. Checking trophy data. What the heck? Weird. Thanks to this online. But yeah, so. Am I even online already, or do I go inside? Oh, the playlist right now. Wow. I guess this is over an hour long video, an hour 16 or something. Surprising because my PB is like 56 when I'm not even done. Or TA, anyway. Yeah, 56 minutes. Ah, hurry up. Okay, yeah, there. So right here, I have this screen every single time. It just tells me, do you want to sign in? And I say no every time, so I can just play the game, do my run. So as I do full quitouts too, I do it in the middle of run. You've probably seen it. But this time you hit sign in to check your PB. Yeah, and you sign in. Yeah, that says private servers are going. And then you don't actually open your save file that you did the PB on. You load up another one that has access to the Nexus and hopefully the Pantheon. So yeah, maybe have one account just ready there that has the one that's past Phalanx but hasn't like gone to New Game Plus or something like that. You gotta be able to access the Pantheon, so you have to have at least killed Phalanx. I guess in theory you could like start a new file and just quickly go to Phalanx and kill him. That shouldn't be an invalid run, but just have a file ready. Just recommend make the process faster. Then run up all the way to the top of the Pantheon, even past Monumental. Keep going. You see the bloodstains, so you know you're online. Private service, oh, by the way. Can't wait for that Demon Souls remaster that we've been hearing about since like 2013. Right here, and then you go up here to this door. For some reason, this door acted weird for me. I don't know if it's like it was like a update to the private server or something, but it was like what, not letting me in right away. But it did work, thankfully. I just kind of waited, I guess. And then you go and touch this very first thing, United World Local, and then right there tells you your IGT. So for submission purposes, you have to have online access to show this. For any percent anyway. You don't have to for all trophies, but for this, yes. So yeah, that's it pretty much. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. Again, I do have another like guide notes thing to go alongside with it, which is probably better to read as you do runs if you're learning the route kind of thing. Actually go fairly to depth with some things. I even included some like little details, potential safety strats, so you can use that. Yeah, I'll be putting this on the leaderboard like guide segment because there's nothing there, which not all games in the Souls games have. I think I saw that Dark Souls doesn't, but some others do, and I don't know. I feel like I should help. And it's probably better now than ever to do it since I'm kind of retiring for now from Demon Souls, and moving on to the things. But I mean, I'm still available to help. If you're in the Speed Souls server, feel free to ping me in the Demon Souls discussion thing. I'm always willing to help with, especially with like newer players and just people learning the game still. I'm willing to help out, start out, give tips, kind of thing. Hopefully this is plenty for a starter at least, but yeah, like I said, like there's a lot of little things that you'll learn as you do runs. As you can see, this is like my 734th or so, probably even more with like Magic Route. Yeah, just keep doing it. You'll learn a lot of things on your own. Just behavior of enemies and stuff. So I can't teach you everything, but hopefully I give a lot of beginner helpful tips. So yeah, thank you for watching this. Hope it was helpful. I'm moving on to Dark Souls 1 now, so I will see you around. I'll be back with Demon Souls some other time. No clue when, but eventually. Yeah, have a good rest of your day. Bye bye.